poppin', y'all? It's your boy D-Mark, aka D-Ron. So back with another video. So we're gonna be checking out this clip from Mr. Kennedy. This is from Chris Van Vliet's channel, interviewing Mr. Kennedy, talking about his final last match against Eddie Guerrero when he died back in 2005. But God rest in peace, Eddie, man. But apparently this is gonna be a emotional clip, which I am not ready for, but I'm going to check out this clip, and I'm going to put the video in the description box. Before we get into all of that, if you have not already yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have not already yet, follow me all social medias down below, and turn on notifications because I will be posting every single week. So, any further ado, let's get straight into this.
I think one of the really interesting facts about your career in WWE is you were Eddie Guerrero's last match, and I don't know if I think a lot of people obviously remember the shocking news when he passed, but a lot of people don't remember, what happened before that. What are your memories?
I don't know if y'all can hear this, but I got a loud
I remember him telling me to calm down in the beginning. We did some chain wrestling. I remember I was scrambling to get to the ropes quickly to break, and I remember him telling me, just calm down, you don't have to go so quickly there. And I remember when we were talking through the match, I'm supposed to hit him with the chair at the end, and I remember he said, bring it, hit me with it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hit you with it. And then I hit him with it, and we got backstage, and it was maybe a little too much.
Yeah, I've seen that clip so many times.
Then we went out to dinner that night. I was actually riding with him and Benoit at the time. And we went to a steakhouse, and I remember they were talking because the next week, after it was like a super show in Minneapolis. It was Raw and SmackDown. I'm not sure if ECW was around at the time yet, but it was going to be Raw and SmackDown super show. And then we were heading to the airport. We were going to fly out and do my first international tour. And they were like, they're going to mess with you. They're going to shave your eyebrows while you're sleeping, stuff like that. Get me all riled up for that. And then I remember I pulled into the arena, and the guy that parks the cars, that helps park all the vehicles, told me he's like, Eddie died. And I walked into the building, and it was just this crazy, sick feeling that everybody had all day. Everybody was super somber and sad. It was a crazy, crazy day.
I feel like it just must have been such a whirlwind of everything that was going on, and then the show still ends up going on.
Yeah. And I will say that with all of the death that I have personally, people that I've known, even if it was just briefly, people that I've known that have passed away in this business in the last 23 years since I started, has really sort of, it almost deadens you to the, when I hear of somebody dying, it's like, that's too bad. I hate that I feel that way. And it's not like I don't care. It's just, we've experienced so much of it.
Yeah, man. It's like when you lose a family member or best friend that you've been with since day one, when y'all was kids, and when y'all get older, and then you get that last call, you get a phone call from somebody saying that one of your family members died, or one of your friends has passed away. It's it's one of those things. It's just happened at the wrong. I would probably say it happened at the wrong time, because it was kind of unexpected of hearing somebody that you morally well know that you've been close with for so long, and then all of a sudden you get a random phone call, and then the next minute you hear about them, and then they tell you that your best friend passed away. Oh, somebody passed away earlier today or earlier tonight. But yeah, man, when I watched the Eddie Guerrero tribute show multiple times. It's sad, man. It was Eddie Guerrero, because he was the most entertaining wrestler in the company around that time. Before he passed away in 2005. For everybody who loved and cared about, who worked with Eddie, I can't even imagine for everybody else who felt when the night on Raw, when the whole entire roster was standing in front of the stage and everything, You know, everybody took it hard. Everybody took it hard, especially with a few fans that was crying in the audience, in the crowd, and everything. Like everybody took it hard, especially Chris. I mean, for Chris, the way I was looking at Chris, man, he was Eddie's best friend. He was Chris meant everything to Eddie. I've even said this before in the other video I did a few years back talking about this, but Chris meant everything to Eddie. And what happened back in 2007 when Chris Benoit, murdered his son and his wife, man. And I just like people are still like lost of words of like still trying to figure out, the concept of finding out like why did he did what he did to kill his wife and his child. So that's still it's like a questionable situation that people are still asking till this day. So yeah, man. For what happened back in 2005 during that tribute show, I cried, man. I watched the clips of everything from when Eddie started his wrestling career until when he ended it. And, yeah, man, I was crying my eyes out. I mean, Eddie he was definitely a person that people will love to enjoy. And he left everything. And WWE is still mentioning, which they've been mentioning him for years now because he's Eddie Guerrero, and it's a good thing that people are still mentioning him to this day, man. Which I love that.
I don't know what that is. I've never gone to a wrestler funeral either. Never done that. No.
Whose death do you think hit you the hardest?
It's probably Shad. Just because of like the way that happened.
Shad Gaspar.
What he did.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to him too.
He's a good dude.
I remember reading that story and I had tears rolling down my face. I just texted Shad like a few weeks before that we were supposed to do an interview. And I'm reading this story, obviously saddened that he passed away. But then like the fact that he sacrificed his own life for his son's life. It's just and that just tells you how special of a person.
Yeah, I definitely remember that whole story.
Yeah,
how he was doing everything.
And we all hoped that we would do that.
That was sad too, man. Was he meant to be a great father?
In that moment, but he did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry for bringing it up.
no, it's okay. I mean, I think it's good to talk about.
It's
real.
It was so nice to see WWE honor him this year because so often when someone leaves the company, it's like you're gone and forgotten. And it was so nice that it was like you're still remembered, and we want to acknowledge you for this incredible act of heroism.
Yeah, it was really something else to see. Yeah, you're right. Normally, everybody, if somebody dies, they get a rip at the beginning of Raw. But yeah, that was pretty special. It really was. To have his son and his wife there.
Yeah, man. I can understand what Mr. Kennedy, the emotions of when the moment that he was wrestling Eddie and the moment that he last saw him. I mean, I can't imagine from anybody, like Mr. Kennedy, that was wrestling Eddie, and not only that he was just wrestling Eddie on his last match, just like, like from like weeks or days like before like Eddie died, he was wrestling with Umaga, which before Umaga died, which he has been wrestling with him a few times, but not in WWE. It was like some kind of like an indie show that they was when Mr. Kennedy or Umaga was wrestling in. It was like an independent wrestling company that they were wrestling at. And I think during around 2009 when Umaga got released due to failing a WWE's wellness policy at that time. And I think that was the last person, which I don't think it is. I think it was CM Punk that was the last person that was wrestling Umaga, but I don't know. But either way that both of them, CM Punk and Mr. King was still wrestling with Umaga at that time back in 2009. But yeah, man. Eddie was a special wrestler, and he always going to be remembered to everybody's heart that love and care for wrestling. And most likely to his family and to his children and everything, man. Eddie is always going to remember. He's going to remember of something for me that even though I didn't really grew up watching Eddie Guerrero, his heart was there. His heart was there for wrestling each and every time of the week. Whether it's just, getting up every morning, working out, and working out 2 times a day, and doing the same thing the next day, getting ready for a show, and then you want to take some time out to spend time with your families for a little bit, and then you got to get back on the road and performing over 1,000 of people that you just wanted to do to make an extra cash on the side. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it is a great thing that, it's good that Mr. Kenny spoke about Eddie, how he feel, man, and honestly, I wish Eddie was still here to this day. There could have been like a lot of things in wrestling right now that Eddie could have done that people still want to see Shawn Michaels versus Eddie, which people have been dreaming about seeing that. There could have been a lot of things that Eddie could have worked with that none of us would see what we got to see from the first beginning. Even though Eddie accomplished a lot of things other than winning the WWE title and going on with Face WrestleMania and all that, but it's still sad, like, that he's just not here. And I'm pretty sure it mostly think people that he's still here, but you realize that he's not really here. He's with the man upstairs in heaven. And Eddie, God rest his soul, man, he always gonna remain to everybody, but people that have been watching wrestling for years is gonna remind of Eddie Guerrero. So yeah, man, that's all I gotta say. But y'all let me know what's your thoughts about this video, and let me know in the comments what's your favorite Eddie Guerrero moment that y'all enjoyed watching back in the Ruthless Aggression era. Y'all let me know what's your thoughts about that, and follow me all social medias down below. I'll be back with another video, y'all. Peace.
My moment to shine, this is my time of flight. I've been grinding forever just for this very night. I've been pushing for many moments like this. This time is undervalued and no one ever could.